From the Connections Studio Suites, it's Connections. Connections is relationship radio.
And welcome. Connections, Monday through Friday, 10 to midnight, live on Facebook and in Tampa, Bradenton, Sarasota, Gainesville. And Thursday nights, 9 o'clock on 102.5 WFLA on iHeartRadio app. Check it out.
So I got a question for everybody.
Okay.
When you do the rock-on sign, let me see what your rock-on sign looks like. Okay. Is mine the only one that does like perfect, like devil horns that go straight up?
No.
See, look, I can't. I gotta push it apart. It hurts.
That's weird. You better make it work on that.
Yeah.
I do stick out.
Is that
I
a
never
gay
noticed
thing?
that.
Everybody does a Y.
Maybe it's a straight.
How far
thing.
can you do your Hawaiian?
A.
Yeah, you gotta
How far?
flip it out like
Yeah, that's
that.
it.
How can you
And
get
then-
it go? Put it in front of the camera.
I'm trying.
But I do.
Oh my gosh, I'm
No.
hitting everything. Look at me.
It's Girls Night Out. We're burning for you.
That's it right there.
I am Melissa Fox, 2X's MFOXX at connectionshow.com. If you want to say hi or complain.
What's up? I want to say hi. Let me see. Let me
Word.
say hi to my cousin Chris from Maine who just joined the room. Hey.
Hi, Chris. Share if
and
you
then
care.
there's Shrek, and then there's Mark, and there's my other brother from another mother, Chris.
So confusing.
We got Cool Whip Valley on here. We got
Cool Whip,
Rachel.
that's my girl.
Whoop, whoop.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Tommy Hawk.
And Tommy
Hawk.
and Tiffany.
Tiffany.
And, yeah, we got a few more, but y'all
Yeah.
didn't like the page, so I can't share.
Yeah, if you don't like the page, if you don't like Connection Show on Facebook.com when we're rocking live, we cannot see your comments. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey,
and
look,
then
I'm wearing my main shirt, too.
you are wearing your
That's
main
pretty
shirt.
funny.
That is so
Represent, boy. Yeah, right
I am running this whole show, Lizzie, with the exception of the topic and the work that's
Yep.
done there.
You do that again, same-sex marriage is about to go real too far. I'm serious.
I'll
what do we-
marry her just
so
so,
what do
I
we-
don't have to,
So what do we
testify
have
against
tonight?
her.
We have two gays and a straight? Mm-hmm. Okay.
You know what that is?
2 G's in a mess.
No, 2 lesbians and a straight girl.
Or a
and I'm
straight
not so
sandwich.
sure. Linda, I'm not so sure about that. That's Linda Nunez, our resident rock star. And Lizzie said what? Hashtag Lizzie said what?
That's right.
There
Don't you
it
fit
is.
that
See?
hashtag.
No.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Gay marriage tonight. Have we gone too far? Have you gone too far? Yeah, you can hit us up on this deal.
It's crazy.
We'll talk about the legalization timeline of same-sex marriage, and honestly, should it be legal? Because there are some bad like pros and cons. We'll debate it, I'm sure. And the reason I say I'm sure is because Linda, how long have we been together now?
17
When I was 17, I was a husband.
How many months?
I don't know.
What?
I don't even know.
You
Oh,
women,
hold
you
on, hold
women
on.
No, no, no.
Okay, now we
No,
will
you
differ
gotta
on this
understand,
answer
there's
by
a-
1 month.
One whole month.
1 whole month.
What?
We disagree
One whole
when
month.
when our anniversary is by a month.
I'm October 16th.
And she says it's November, and I'm like, no, it is October. No, it's
No,
November.
November 16th.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Yes, she is. Anyway,
So it's hard to really answer it down to a month.
you'll see. Yeah, you'll see.
Anyway, gay marriage.
Okay.
Seriously, talk about how long it's taken for the gays to get their opportunity to be disappointed. 1970, first
You
of
know,
all.
I was surprised by this date.
1970 in Minnesota. I was more surprised by the state. Of course, they're denied then the case because, of course, they have a case at this point. Then they're like, They go to the state Supreme Court. 1973, Maryland steps above everybody and says, before we say it's legal, let's ban it.
Yeah.
Let's get on top of the stack, and we're going to go, it's illegal. Mm-hmm. Now you have to make it legal. Okay, and then, of course...
Now there's no question.
So now, now it's like, yeah, problem solved. And then in 1976, just 3 years later, a non-church sanctioned gay wedding makes the news. Because it's not really a gay wedding, it's more of a commitment ceremony, if you know what I'm saying.
It's more of a gesture.
It's more of a gesture. at this point.
I got your gesture
I got
right
your
here.
gesture.
So, 1983 creeps around, and spousal rights of same-sex couples becomes an issue.
What?
Spousal rights.
Spousal rights.
Okay.
The reason why is there was a lesbian couple. And spousal rights issue comes up because one of them gets hurt in a car accident, badly hurt, and the other is denied the right to care for her by the state, by the hospital, by her family, even though for 17 years they were together.
Yep. That's
Okay.
wrong.
Man.
This is 1983, so that becomes a big issue. 1984, Berkeley, California, they passed the nation's first domestic partnership law, which acknowledges that two people can live together. It is not, you hear what I said, people. I did not say two same sex. Two people.
Just two humans.
Two people. Male, female, male, male, female, female, whatever.
Two persons of any
Two persons
form,
can live
shape,
together
size, color.
and have a domestic
May-
partnership. They may be asexual, but they live together, they care for one another. They can then form a domestic partnership. Did you
I don't even. That's
Did
crazy.
you not understand that? Yeah.
I now understand it, but I didn't
They
understand it
tried
then.
to do that here in the late 90s, early 2000s, I think, in Orange County. They said you can file paperwork that would say that you are domestic couple.
Yeah.
Again, no reference to same sex, no reference to gender, but merely that you are a couple. And that was a legally binding piece of paper that said that you had the right. And I was going to do that with Linda, that, you know, in case something happens,
Yeah, in case
because
that she has the right to make that call, to be there in that hotel or that hospital room. And what I told her, and I'll put it on record, that's my sister right here.
Yeah. See, yeah.
Okay,
that's-
we're related. We were adopted, and if her mom has to adopt me to make that work, you know,
Then that's what
it's-
we's gonna
then
do.
it would be better for us legally, and we'll get into this in a little bit. But it would be better legally for us as a couple not to be married.
Yeah.
Okay,
I mean, I don't want to go.
you gonna be
on,
alright?
I-
You choked. I mean,
Yeah,
I
well,
choked
I
up,
don't.
Lindsay.
Okay, I don't
want to
go on this tangent.
Oh, you don't?
However,
You just came from a lesbian wedding this weekend.
did.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
and
How'd that
yeah,
go?
you know what?
Dish.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Okay.
Big girls
I
in
ap-
wedding gowns. That was
Yeah,
cool.
it was.
That was cool.
I saw
I
the
have-
pictures. It was great.
I appreciate gay weddings more and marriages more than I do the heterosexual. Reason being is that in my eyes, like the disclaimer, 99% of these marriages, they went through such a trial and tribulation. And I'm not saying this couple did, but I've seen couples that have had families disown them because they were gay.
Right,
So
right.
then you have to get married, and then you don't have that support. So whenever somebody is gay and I'm friends with them and they invite me to a wedding, I'm like, high five, I'm right there beside you.
Yeah.
Because I know that this is real. This is a real love. This is something that people have fought for.
That's a good
Versus,
point. Yeah.
and I'm not saying heterosexual marriages aren't fighting for them. What I'm saying is that if you have to go through this to get married, tell me that's not real.
Yeah.
So,
I agree. That's a good point. I think a lot of straight couples need to take notice
thank you.
and say, listen, this is something we really believe in enough to fight like hell to get the country to let us do it. Don't take it lightly.
Yeah.
We don't.
There you go.
We're going to talk about that and more about the timeline and some of the BS that we're being fed.
No, we're being fed.
Oh, I'm going to ruin things for you.
I thought she was telling you to wrap it up. You're
I
doing
would
my
never
job.
do that.
She's
Yes.
doing my job now.
No, that's you let me eat it up. Eat it up.
We'll be
Thought I was
right
gonna
back.
whoop some
I
ass.
gotta kick some butt. It's girls' night out. And let's see how many people are left in the studio when I walk away here in a second. All right, we'll be right back. Give us a couple of minutes. Support our sponsors, including Jameson Properties. Yeah, he's going to be in, Barry Jameson. He's
This
going to be
week?
in here
Awesome.
on Friday night talking about how you know you're ready for a home and the things you need to check. And oh, man,
Very
He's
good
the man.
advice.
it's going to be a lot of information.
Indeed.
You want to get ready for it? BarryJameson.com. It's Jameson with the I. Nice smile. We'll be right back. It's Connections.
Please tell us why you had to hide away for so long.
This is Connections.
Hey now, baby, baby. Let's keep it real here.
And it's sad when you know it's your heart you can trust. There's a reason why
Hello.
people don't stay
Welcome back.
they are.
It's Connections. And it's Girls' Night. What's that you want to sing? Patty Smythe,
So gay.
John Henley.
Swear.
Aww.
Lizzie just trashed my lovely
She
face.
did.
I didn't trash it. That's a compliment.
So gay.
All right,
for tonight, I'm with you now.
Yay.
I'm about to go, that's so gay.
Is that what you're looking for?
You know, that's become like a saying now.
What up, gay?
You know, oh, that's so gay. That shirt is gay.
Oh, no, that was a long time ago. In
it's
the
still-
80s,
No, it was,
it's
actually
still
a couple
around.
years ago because I got on to some of my
Still around.
my
now.
some of my teens that come in the library. They were like, so they were trying to cut down somebody else. They're like, "Oh my God, you're so gay!" And I stopped them. I said, I said,
Yeah, and they don't mean it, though.
well, they did not mean it, but they didn't realize what they were
Right,
saying,
right,
and I educated them because I'm like, I go, would you go and say, "Hey, dude, you're so black," and they go, Miss Elizabeth, no. And I go, then you don't use the G word.
Okay, so we were in the process of talking about the legalization of same-sex marriage in the United States, and I was blowing some myths and some factoids into the wind. And one of them was about 1992, with the same-sex employees getting domestic partnership benefits from companies like Levi Strauss. The entire state of Massachusetts said, all right, yeah, sure. But the downside, oh yeah, your partner's going to get benefits, wasn't like the husband-wife-child situation. For those of you straight people, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Us straighties, yes.
Okay, explain the benefits to us gays. How's it work?
Yeah, so I'm able to add my husband and any child that I either had married into the relationship with, like if I had a stepchild, or
Really?
Oh,
yeah, or my own biological kids up to the age of 26.
Wow.
Yes, and it would be at a discounted price from the initial.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, it was always a percentage
Yep.
more. If you want to add this person or 3 more, whatever, household members, etc. Okay, with the gays, domestic partnerships, whatever, because it wasn't all gays, but this one was for same-sex in particular. She was just added as an employee. She didn't get a paycheck. Her paycheck was the benefits.
Right.
That's it. That was it. So she paid just as much as though she was an individual insured.
Was that even legal?
Probably not. But who knows?
Add me to the roster of a place that I don't work for. That seems a little off to me.
And give you benefits. Well, that's how they did it. It was basically like
But
hiring
I'll tell you what, there wasn't anybody that said no at that time.
No, because you needed those benefits. 1993 comes along. Hawaii steps up. Their Supreme Court says same-sex marriages cannot be denied unless there's a compelling reason to do so. And so Hawaiian legislators respond by passing an amendment to ban gay marriage.
Way to go.
They're like,
Hawaii.
what? They wanted to ban gay marriage after the Supreme Court said you can't deny gay marriage.
So they say, oh, yeah, we can.
They're like, oh, sorry.
Watch
So
us.
that was what, in Alaska and Hawaii?
That was Hawaii. Straight up Hawaii. Utah, they started that DOMA, that prohibited married same-sex couples from getting benefits from the federal government, among other things. It was not a good thing, okay? The Defense of Marriage Act was unconstitutional in my book.
Didn't that make you angry that they basically said, you guys can be friends and pretend that you're a couple, but you can't have it, and then come and find out that's not even what it
Let's be
meant?
friends. Okay. Defense of Marriage Act, it was enacted in September of 1996. It was a United States federal law. And prior to being ruled unconstitutional, it defined marriage for federal purposes as the union of one man and one woman. And it said, states, y'all have the right to refuse to recognize same-sex marriages because we grant you that law. We say, you have the right.
That's where they
to.
went wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But wait a minute, though. I mean,
It's putting it back into the state's hands.
You have the
Yeah.
you have the right to refuse to recognize same-sex marriages. Brr, brr, brr. Yep, that's where they messed up. You're right. Okay, it was struck down finally in 2013. Okay, DOMA, in conjunction with a bunch of other statutes that it barred same-sex married couples from being recognized as spouses for purposes of federal laws, effectively barring them from receiving federal marriage benefits, like we talked about earlier. DOMA's passage did not prevent individual states, though, from recognizing same-sex marriage, but it sure did impose restraints and constraints on the benefits that were received by all legally married same-sex couples. So, when they first put it up, it was signed into office by President Bill Clinton. It defined spouse and any related terms to signify heterosexual couples in a recognized marriage. And then it it coded. It said we do not recognize same-sex marriages, including for federal reasons, insurance benefits for government employees, Social Security survivor benefits, immigration, bankruptcy, the filing of joint tax returns, as well as excluding same-sex spouses from the scope of laws protecting families of federal officers, laws evaluating financial aid eligibility, federal ethics laws that would apply to opposite-sex couples. Okay, just stuff like that. You know, nothing big. So anyway, it was finally struck down. And they said, no, it's not right. It's terrible, and we're not deviant. Thank you. So the DOMA Act is gone now. By the time we're in the year 2000, the American rabbis get together at their central conference, and they agree to allow religious ceremonies for same-sex couples. And then Vermont becomes the first state that passes a law that grants full benefits of marriage.
That's
to
when I
same-sex
feel like
couples.
everything started to change.
2000.
Was in 2000.
Then Nebraska steps up and they say, we're going to approve this constitutional ban on same-sex marriage. So it's like, wait, what?
And so to get back to Lizzie, what we were talking about during the break, when I was saying I stopped paying attention to everything because I didn't figure it would ever change.
Right.
2000 changed my thinking.
And
that's when I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I might need to pay attention
But in the
again.
same breath, okay, you've got Vermont going, okay, you guys can have benefits. We agree. And then Nebraska goes, oh, no. We're going to approve a constitutional ban on same-sex marriage. And then California passed a domestic partnership law, again, it's 2003, and they provided basically same-sex partners with almost all the rights and responsibilities as partners in civil marriages. President Bush steps up, says, I want marriage reserved for heterosexuals. And then the Massachusetts Supreme Court says, you know what? We're going to legalize gay marriage, and they were the first state to do so. So it just keeps bouncing back and forth and back and forth.
Now I see why you were just like, whatever.
Meanwhile, here's me just doing my thing.
Another ban. You get a win, you get another ban.
There we go. You know, whoop, drummer quick, get another one. San Francisco. The city of San Francisco starts marrying same-sex couples because they want to openly challenge California law. And then New Mexico starts issuing marriage licenses to same-sex couples because their law, it's just not specific to gender. It just says that two people. So a lot of people catch on to that, like, ooh, two people. It doesn't define whether it's a man and a woman on their paperwork. Washington Post steps up. They do a poll. Shows that a little more than half the country says, you know what, let them do what they want to do. Let the gays have their civil unions.
Right.
Oregon takes a more drastic step. They halt all marriages. They're like, no, nobody's getting married until we figure this crap out.
This is Connections.
Thought about selling your home lately? Or want a home value report? Jameson Properties can help. Just contact Barry Jameson. His team has been servicing Central Florida for over 25 years. You can also search homes for sale at his website at barryjameson.com. That's BARRYJAMIESON.com. Jameson Properties has over a 97% success rate getting homes sold. Experienced, honest, and reliable. Give Barry a call. 407-876-2730. Or contact him at barryjameson.com. Call him now. You'll be glad you did.
Nunez Productions is a full-service audio and video recording and editing suite.
They offer voiceover, English to Spanish dubbing, transcriptions, translations, mixing, and mastering.
Does your business need new clients? Call Nunez Productions today and let them help you open the floodgates.
Offering services and products bilingually adds instant customers.
And that means instant cash.
Y por supuesto, se habla español. Visit NunezProductions.com today to get a free quote on your project.
That's NUNEZ Productions.com.
Yeah, it's time to come back from commercial. Yeah, you know it's time to come back.
This is Linda Nunez, and you're listening to Connections on News Radio 102.5 WFLA.
Yeah, I said it's time to get back in your chair. Coming back from commercial.
Welcome back to Connections. Melissa Foxx, Linda Nunez, and Lizzie said what? It's Girls' Night Out. We're talking about the gays. We're talking about gay marriage and whether or not it really should be around, and is it worth it, and are they messing it up? I mean, there's got to be some benefits from the legalization of gay marriage, right, Linda?
I would think so. That's like I was saying earlier. There's got to be a state that said, hey, I think we can make some money off this thing.
Here's what I think.
Word.
The benefit of all the gay marriage being legal is that it kind of keeps those people from faking the marriage with somebody else and basically making that other person think, oh, they really love me and we were going to be married forever.
Were you talking about having a side man or a side chick or something?
Basically being a beard. So it keeps you from being a beard and not realizing that you're a beard, because I'm sure that happened multiple times.
It happened a lot.
Yeah, and the beard didn't realize that they were the beard until they got shaved.
That's so strange. Legalizing gay marriage promotes equality. Bottom line, we contribute to daily American life in many, many ways. Yeah. We're very helpful people.
You guys pull your weight. Thank Jesus.
What? Culturally, socially, financially, politically, vocationally, and spiritually. God, without the gays, where would the Catholics be?
Still touching kids.
Oh, they do that too? Yeah.
Just
what happened to Thornbirds? This is not that time frame. Okay. So, anyway, we're fundamentally committed, right, to growing this nation and evolving and all, right?
Absolutely. We're a part of, just like every other ethnic group, every other, minority, we're part of this country too.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the legalization of same-sex marriage then would affirm the inherent worthiness of the gay people. We're valued American citizens. We deserve
more
equal
money,
rights.
buy stamps.
Now, see, I want to tell you, back in the day when I was in Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh was working to put that sexual orientation words, that phrase, in their, I don't know, in their hiring process. You cannot be. And I said, you know what? I don't think that has anything to do with whether or not someone can do a damn good job or not.
Of course not.
What does it matter if I like the deer or don't?
Here's what I always was confused by, and maybe this is why this happened, because they're afraid they're going to be hit on. And it is interesting to me that every woman, woman. You don't know. This is a gay perspective. Did anyone
gay's perspective
would think that I am attracted to all people,
all ladies,
just because you're a lady? I want to get with you.
All girls.
I mean, God,
yummy,
how ridiculous!
I know. If we give the gays the right to have marriage and jump the broom,
what would happen?
It'll foster psychological, physical, and social well-being amongst the gays. They'll feel good about themselves. You see, same-sex couples are excluded from institutions of marriage in 38 states. Oh, they were. Furthermore, the federal government said legal marriage, I don't know, the benefits, yap. So, it's America's benefit, it is, when gay people are given the freedom to fully achieve their potential in life.
1,000 federal rights and benefits that are associated with marriage we can't have.
And by the way, it promotes family stability. It validates the family units. Because we need validation.
Didn't they try to define family, too?
Yeah, oh yeah, they did that first off.
That's interesting to me.
Gay marriage legalizing provides economic and business opportunities. And that is the deal. When New York said, yeah, okay, $260 million got injected into the New York City economy that year that they legalized same-sex marriage. The gay marriage tourism benefits.
I did not get my check.
In those regions which permit same-sex marriage, gay couples come and spend their money there, and countries as well. So a lot of large businesses are like, yeah, we can make some good money off the gays. Yeah. And, yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not buying it. I think a lot of this is very... it's just as bad as what we did to the Blakes back in the day.
Yep.
Yeah, 40 acres and a mule. Here you go. It's 40 acres and a Gucci bag.
But it's not even the updated Gucci bag.
Right.
It's like a couple years behind.
It's Poochie.
Yeah.
It's Poochie bag.
It's the one that you can buy at Piggly Wiggly.
I'm fine. I love that knockoff. Oh, they're so good. Anyway, point is, a lot of times it's dressed up as a benefit, no matter whether it's for the gays or for the elderly or education. It's dressed in one way to make you think that, oh, that's a good idea. Look at that. Look what we're doing for them gays. That's right. I don't care. As long as they don't do it on my line, I'm good with it. Oh, we're going to give them benefits. Oh, that's nice.
Well, here's another question. What about the children of...
What about the children?
What about the children of the gay marriages?
What about them?
Well,
We should ostracize them. You have two mommies. Go away.
It's just that a lot of them are being raised in households where there are two same-sex couples who can't even get married in their home state.
Oh.
And they are having kids.
Yeah. You
left
mean,
and right, which is amazing. I never thought I'd see that either.
Everyone has their
one
right.
thing that was ours.
Goofballs uniting in the studio. I separated them, and still.
You put two mics between us, and still. They managed to pull this kind of crap off. I have to say something.
Yes, dear.
Okay, from the straighty friends that I have that are, in my mind, they're kind of bigots, yeah, okay. And,
okay.
So, yeah, I mean, I'll call them. I'll tell them that they're a bigot to their face. But their whole stance on why gay marriage should not be legal is because, well, then what if we approve gay marriage? What's to stop people from marrying farm animals? And I go, because that's stupid. Okay. I didn't think I was a marrying kind of person.
See, I was right.
And I think
until
the same
I met
thing.
Shrek, and even then, I really wasn't sold. I don't even know. We're going on 22 years. I still don't know if I'm sold yet. However,
I'm still weighing my options.
If I had the option to do it again with Shrek, yes. With anybody else, no. I would never have married anybody else. And it's not that, oh, he's just the only one. It's just, like Melissa said, I really am not a marrying person. And the fact that somehow he got hooked up with this, and there's no split whatsoever, it's like, yeah.
I don't think that I'm really the marrying person either. Now, I'm I'll stay with you forever kind of person. But there's something about tying yourself legally that then requires an act of Congress to undo that bothers me.
Okay.
Look, I asked the question, is it an outdated institution? I say yes in response to it because you guys can't seem to answer the question.
What was the question again?
Is marriage outdated as an institution?
I think so.
Okay, you think so. Lizzie, I said I thought so, but I'm going to teeter on the fence depending on... You are saying I wasn't a marrying kind. Not what I asked you. Do you think marriage is an outdated institution? Okay, Linda's saying yeah, she thinks so. Why is that, Linda, then? While Lizzie thinks about it, because she's over there scratching her corn head.
Damn.
I think that because of the fact that the family is such a different picture these days than it used to be. And I don't think that you necessarily have to be legally bound and have all these governmental restrictions when you want to get away from each other that they impose on it when it comes to marriage. It's just so complicated.
You're invited to the Stages of Life Medical Institute Open House June 7th, where we'll showcase our many procedures such as Votiva, Forma, and Cognivue, as well as our entire line of nutraceuticals. You'll receive 20% off all purchases and 25 to 40% off all procedures scheduled at the open house. Come see our new non-surgical technology. Come in and invest in your health and well-being. June 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. at Stages of Life Medical Institute in Longwood. For more information, visit suffernomore.com.
You're listening to Connections. Get ready. I think I hear something.
Man, I wish I was deaf.
Sir, do you know why I pulled you over?
Certainly not for operating an illegal pirate radio station.
I woke up this morning, I read some stupid text. I said I woke up this morning and I had some coffee, yeah.
I'll keep your eyes on the road, your hand
Alrighty. Anyway, hey, welcome back to Connections. We've been talking about gay marriage itself. Is it a viable institution anymore? Is it outdated? Is it a mess? I mean, no one seems to commit. Not for very long anymore.
Even if you get married, it's really not a commitment because you can just get divorced. So if you're going to do that, just don't get married.
What is that? So then do you think marriage has a future? Maybe the way it's been evolving forever.
No, I think that marriage will always be there.
Yeah.
I mean, well, look at the royals. I mean, how much are we making about Prince Harry and the Meghan Markle gal? I mean, wow, then that's kind of an integrated little interesting.
Yeah, that's another story
Not
for another
going
day.
There. Wow, and I think she's actually a divorcee too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's married.
So again, marriage and traditions continue to evolve. That's a prime example right there.
Well, was this the first time that a woman of color has been in the royal family?
Yeah, but it's a good thing that she's just like mixed. Yeah.
Okay, well,
talk to us on Lizzie's Got Dishing.
This is just my own personal opinion. There are no facts behind this whatsoever. However, if you take the picture of Princess Diana's horse riding trainer.
For Harry, yeah.
And you actually take his picture and you literally put them side by side now.
They're looking
Where'd that red hair come from?
Ooh.
Is there red hair in the royal family?
No, it's in her side. Her brother has reddish hair, but...
Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to spoil it for you or nothing.
Okay.
But in a lot of our developed countries, most of them, as a matter of fact, when you look to the future, where they're going, and less developed countries inevitably will follow. That's how it works, right? So it's true about urbanization, technology, religion, infrastructure, health, life expectancy, family size. It's also true with marriage. Okay, so marriage right now, believe it or not, is in a sharp decline in most developed countries. That's according to various objective indicators. Fewer young people are marrying before living together. In France, in Sweden, and other advanced social democracies, the number of young women between the ages of 25 and 30 who cohabitate is much higher than the number who are married. Single moms, big numbers, going way high. Divorce rates, sky high. 2/3 of marriages dissolving in some other countries, not just the United States. Some of those statistics, though, can be a little misleading. Again, we like to poke holes and stuff around here, Connection Show. We like to say, yeah, that looks good on one way, but let me just tell you about the other side. Well, France and Sweden and other of these places, right? Sweden, for example, most children spend their early years under the same roof as both parents. It's not really a case of single parenthood at all. It's a question of couples who live together and raise children, and they don't necessarily bother to get married.
What are the legalities of that? Does one parent have more ownership than the other?
Yep. State of Florida.
Well, in Sweden, which is what we're talking about right now, just for the moment, so you can get a picture of another country's society's ways, they don't married, they actually avoid marrying. Parents do. As far as they're concerned, marriage is nothing more than a piece of paper, which is how we looked at it a lot. And it's not really worth bothering with because there's really no practical consequences. It doesn't apply to their lives. And maybe that's why a lot of marriages end in divorce. It's in Sweden, just in particular, there's an antipathy. They just don't care about religion. So
just pour me some
There's
wine.
not a lot of religious weddings. And when you don't have religion and the church involved and the protections and privileges, so much of that, it doesn't make it as important. Okay, first of all, there's no real consequence one way or the other in Sweden to have a marriage license. And here's another thing. In Sweden, men don't need to marry to have sex with women they love. For their part, women, they don't see marriage as providing them any protections or privileges that they already have as a single gal. Correct? That's just how we look at it. We're like, well,
right.
There's really nothing extra in it for me to get married to a man or to a woman. That's how they see that. Sexual relationships can be satisfying, and you don't have to have a formalized situation. They certainly don't have to be forever. And that way no one's trapped in an unhealthy marriage.
See, that's what I was saying.
Now, you were talking about the money side. Okay, well, in Sweden, it's a very generous welfare state. So they make sure that the children are taken care of and provided for, regardless of whether there's marriage involved. Men are on the hook for child support for children they've fathered. The government collects payment
Even
aggressively.
if they're unmarried?
Yes, aggressively collects money from them, not like the United States where payment setup is patchy at best for child support. Now, on the emotional side, again, we're talking about Sweden, simply being married provides no sense of permanence. Most of the marriages end up being dissolved anyway. So European parents really see a minimal benefit of marriage. So, yeah, if marriage is in decline, should they promote it still because it's good for kids?
No.
Yeah, I think the benefits of marriage for children can be very overstated, especially if you stay in a bad situation, huh, Lizzie?
Dr. Phil says that children would rather be from a broken home than live in one.
Indeed.
That's true.
That is. It's
And if you
very
ask
true.
the kid, nobody wants to hear fighting and, nastiness.
All right, so it's time to step over to Ranker. Ranker. And talk about gay celebrities who are married to same-sex partners, sort of ranked by fame and popularity. Best example of stupid, Jane Lynch. Do you know what happened to Jane Lynch?
No, but I think I do, but I'd rather
You
hear
know
the
who
story.
Jane Lynch is?
Oh,
You know
yeah,
she
I
is,
love her.
okay.
She's a
She's
good
awesome, right? She's
actress.
kind of fun. Yeah, a little
Yes.
bit lanky. She kind of came out of that whole parody set there with. Remember Best in Show?
Best in Show. She was hilarious.
Best in Show, absolutely hilarious, playing against
wait.
Jennifer Coolidge.
Are we going to get to the point?
Oh, come on!
Yeah. It
We
was
want to
a
make sure
long
people
time
know
ago.
she is.
I don't even know what the question is.
The question was,
It's
do
not
I
a
know what
question.
happened?
Do you know what happened?
that's
No.
Marriage was allowed. Gay marriage was allowed. She and her girlfriend of years, who was a psychiatrist, got married.
Never marry a psychiatrist.
Got married.
Oh, my God, no.
In the state of California.
Because it was legalized.
Right. So what's that mean? Half your property is immediately the other person's.
Exactly.
Within, what was it, 1 month? 1 month. It was over. They divorced. It was over, and Jane lost half of everything.
Do you think that she just did it because it was legal and she's like, yippee, I get to do it?
See, I
She
think
did
I'm
without a
going to.
prenup and got screwed.
I think a lot of people did. I think a lot of people
Yep. Y'all rushed
knee-jerk
into it.
reaction to being allowed. Let's do it. The excitement was there.
Okay, but it's kind of a justifiable because look at how many years that they gave things to gay people and then snatched it away. So it's kind of like, oh my God, okay, we can get married now. Let's go ahead and do it. And Casey, take it away from us.
Well, that's true.
So
And it could have been that for a lot of people, that could have been their reasoning.
Yeah.
And you almost can't blame them. You know, it was.
I agree.
It was history. It was exciting. They wanted to say I was part of it.
Yeah.
So I get that.
But I also think maybe a lot of it had to do with the fact that, oh no, they're going to take this away from us again.
Yeah, that might have been it. Just rush and get it done.
If I was in that boat and I loved the person that I was with and they'd been taking things away from me, I would have gone and gotten married.
Yeah. Well, a lot
Just
of people
because.
went up to Canada for a while. And then would come back, and I never could understand that. Why would you go out of the country to do that when it doesn't mean anything here.
Jeez, that's Linda Nunez.
I
She's
will
in the
ca-
studio
I'll
making
try.
music and stuff, and a lot of times life just passes her by. LindaNunezMusic.com. Lizzie said what? Throw a hashtag in front of that.
Yep.
I am Melissa Foxx. Throw a biscuit in front of me. I'm hungry. Seriously. Meat sticks?
Seriously.
Seriously. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for listening, y'all. Love ya. Mean it.
Laughing time is over.
There you have it, boys. Case closed.
You've been listening to Connections. Find tonight's show and replays of our past shows on ConnectionsShow.com.